Recently, I did a video about going to house auctions and how you can find some really good deals because they're basically liquidating the estate. And I do believe this. I think they're great. They're a lot of fun. You can find some good deals. But there are things to consider when you go to a house auction. One of my viewers recently commented on that video and talked about how sad it was. I want to discuss house auctions, what they mean, is it sad, certain etiquette things that you should consider. Let's dig deeper in this. I think it's a really good topic to discuss, and I think it is something we should all consider. My name is Ann, and I've been reselling for quite a few years with my husband, Bill. And through the years, you experience different things and you learn some tips, tricks, and I'd like to share them with you. I'd also like to learn from you as well, so feel free to comment. Let's get into this topic a little bit. While we discuss this topic, I will be pulling some orders too. So let me pull the first one. Okay, so the first item that we have is these propeller guards. They are for a DJI drone. And these sold for $20 free, actually $20, and they did pay shipping. The next item is a boat service manual, Volvo Penta 1968 to 1991 stern drive. This is a certified textbook, actually. We are selling a ton of boat manuals, so if you need a boat manual, we have quite a few. We cleaned out a storage unit that was filled with vintage, I would say like 90s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. The guy had basically a shop in a storage unit. And so we have manuals, we have parts, so you're going to see a lot of them. We're still working on getting them up, but if you're looking for any, we probably got to get taken care of. Let's get back to this topic though. So the first point is, I agree, it can be sad. It is somebody's lifetime of collecting items, and it's basically being liquidated in a matter of hours. People are coming through, they're going through their stuff. It is sad. Somebody passed away, and there's a lot of memories. And I think due to that, there's a little bit of respect and considerations that we do need to take. And it is okay to acknowledge these feelings. You know, the other thing I want to point out is sometimes there can be family members, there can be friends there can be neighbors there, and you want to be respectful of their feelings as well. I'm going to grab another item, and we're going to keep pulling as we discuss this topic. So this is an OEM Mercury quick switch. It sold for $25 free shipping, and honestly, it won't cost me much to ship that at all. Oh, I was wrong. I'm sorry. It wasn't free shipping. They did pay shipping for this, and it was $5.14 for shipping. So $25, and the customer did pay shipping. The next item is a power head gasket set. I did put it in these plastic bags when I started. I just I wanted to make sure nothing was going to fall out while storing it. I just want to take extra care with storing. But this was a really good one. This one sold for $100, and it was free shipping, but $100 ain't bad. And like I said, we are selling a lot of boat items. So getting back to this topic, I do want to distinguish between the type of auctions that you can have at a house auction. Most of the time, I would say the majority of the time, it is going to be because somebody passed away. The family needs to liquidate the property, the items in the property, so that they can sell the home. This is going to be pretty much they get rid of anything except for what the family has decided to keep for themselves personally. Sometimes it's that they're downsizing, or it could be that they are moving into a nursing home or have to go to hospice care. That would be considered a living estate. Now, downsizing could mean that maybe one spouse passed away and they don't want to take care of this big house. I know if my husband passed away, I probably wouldn't keep my house. It's a lot. It's a lot to take care of. So I'd want to free up those funds to be able to go do things that I can still enjoy, be able to travel, things like that. If you're going into a nursing home, assisted living, even hospice care, that all costs money. Sometimes it can be a living estate. I just wanted to make sure there was a distinguish between that, just so you can understand the difference between them. And honestly, with a living estate, sometimes the owner of the property is there. Okay, the next item that we have shipping out today is a pair of men's Levi's jeans. They're 501s, which means they have the button flap on it. But I thought this was sort of a cool look. It's got a little bit of a different edge. They are distressed. Now, these only sold for $25, and it was free shipping, which, I mean, isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I was just surprised how long it took. They actually went through our sales program and didn't sell for as much as I thought they would have. But $25, free shipping, it's still not bad money in my pocket. All right, we have another boat part. Okay, this is Quicksilver, and which is pretty much Mercury products usually. It's a D-ring kit. And this one sold really well. It was $65 in free shipping. And then I have another boat part right away. This is a face cam, and this sold for $25 free shipping. I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering why I haven't pulled any records yet, because you know I've been selling a lot of records as well. I figure I'll save those at the end and we can do all the records at once. Okay, so I sort of touched on this earlier, but I guess I want to make sure that we really dig deep into this. So the estate sale, like I said, can be living or for somebody who has deceased. Now, this is basically a necessity a lot of times to get this done. It needs to be done so that the family can clear out the possession. When they do this, though, they usually do go through the items beforehand. They want to pull out anything that they have memories for, that spark that memory, that they want to keep as a memory of grandma, grandpa, mom, or dad. And they do this ahead of time, and they take the time to make sure anything is out that they want personally. But they can't keep everything. Can you imagine having to take all your mom's and dad's possessions back home? I mean, I couldn't even fit them in my house. Well, I guess I could, but I'd be climbing on it. I don't need 2 kitchen tables. I don't need 2 washers and dryers. I don't, how many sets of silverware do you need? So some of this stuff just needs to go. And although it's sad to see somebody's possessions just being split up between strangers, we have to remember that these items are going to new homes and they are going to be able to live a new life of their own. So I think sometimes it helps to look at the positive of this as well. This also clears up funds so that they can use it to pay off the debt of the estate. They can pay off medical bills, wherever they need the funds to go. And it also, if the medical bills and the debts aren't a lot, then it can be distributed among the family, and the family can use that money to maybe make their situation a little bit better. Maybe they have a lot of debt. Maybe this money can go to something good. And, that's not a bad thing either. The other thing I will say is I do find that many families find that they just need to get it done. The clean out of the house is very stressful. And if they had to go through all this themselves and find ways to get rid of it and distribute it, or have rummage sale after rummage sale, going to Goodwill or other thrift stores over and over again, it can be stressful. And sometimes they just need it cleaned out. They need to move on. And that's what estate sales allow them to do. Yes, it's dissolving someone's life of collections. But that person is gone, and we really have to consider the living in this situation. And they need to be able to move on. They still want to keep that person's memories, but the memories are what is important, not the things. And I'm sure they've pulled certain things out that really mean a lot to them. But an estate sale can help them move on and get the house ready to be sold. As hard as it is, sometimes an estate sale is just a necessity and a fact of life. And things aren't always a great, happy thing, but sometimes it's a necessity. And estate sales are a necessity for many people. Okay, the next thing I have is an east wing hammer. I did put it in a bag because I didn't want to get other items dirty in my bins. So it is in a bag that I started in. This sold for $12.50 and the customer did pay shipping. And so we will get that one out. East Wing is a really good name of a hammer. So if you ever see them, different ones go for different prices. That I would say is on the lower end at $12.50. Next item that sold is a service manual again for Mercury outboards. This is a little bit bigger of an engine. They have horsepowers of 135 to 175. And this sold for $49.99, and the customer did pay shipping on that one. Next, I have a pair of Tommy Hilfiger jeans. Now, these are really they're a size 3, so very hard size to sell. It took a long time to sell, and they only sold for $10, but the customer did pay shipping. Then we have a vintage Elgin alarm clock. This is one of those travel alarm clocks, and it sold for $17.50 free shipping. We've discussed how estate sales sometimes can be a necessity of life. But even though they're a necessity of life, I really do think that we need to show a lot of respect. A lot of respect for the family, the property, and also the neighbors around that auction being held. I mean, the neighbors, they weren't even part of the decision to have this estate sale, and they're usually in neighborhoods, just friends and family, you know. So be respectful of where you park. Don't park on somebody's lawn. If you see a neighbor, say hi. Don't block their driveways. Don't block their mailboxes. So that's one thing. Please be respectful of the neighbors. The other thing is family, friends, neighbors, they can be at that auction. Don't make jokes about the property or about items there that are disrespectful. Some family members and friends, they actually end up enjoying it because they'll start talking about different things that they have and the memories they have. I've had different people come up and we'll have discussions, and you can see the love in their face as they're telling me about different items or different experiences they had with the person who lived there. And I enjoy that and I respect that, and I think that gives them a peace of mind as well. But be respectful. You know, some people really have a hard time at these auctions too. It's hard to see all the items going and that chapter in their lives closing. They're never going to see that person again. So be respectful. But I will tell you, for the majority of the times I've gone to these auctions, most of the family members just enjoy talking about the items that they're seeing and the memories they had. Most of the time, it is not an uncomfortable situation. It's pretty rare when it gets uncomfortable, but be respectful. The other thing is you are on a property that is going to need to be sold. You want to make sure that you're not being rough with things. You are being respectful about the areas you go into. If something's blocked off and you don't think you're supposed to be back there, don't go back there. Simple as that. You know, let's just be respectful. Let's understand that sometimes they might have things that they haven't gotten out of the house yet that aren't for sale. That happens too sometimes. So if a door says closed, there's a reason for it. Don't snoop on things that aren't for you. All right, we got some more listings here. Here's a Toronto Blue Jays baseball cap. Honestly, this thing took forever to sell. I've actually been thinking about pulling them from my listings and maybe doing a bulk of the baseball cap. So it did sell for $18.99 and the customer did pay shipping though. So I'm happy with that. I'm glad. You know, we have a lot of storage, so I'm happy that I kept them out, and I think I might have to look at maybe adjusting the price or something on some of those. Let's get moving on these. We have a lot of orders today. This is a Quicksilver Mercury switch. Let's take it out of the package and show you. This sold for $110 and the customer did pay shipping. Now, this is all new old stock, so it's OEM quality products. But man, $110. I was really happy. It's a switch and cable. We got a lot more boat parts here for you. Here's a seal kit. This one sold for $35 with shipping. Here's another seal kit that we sold, $45, and the customer paid shipping. Here's another seal kit. This one was purchased for $45 plus shipping. This is a fuel pump. And this one sold for $40 and the customer paid shipping. So these boat parts have been awesome. It's like one of the best units we've purchased. They've been, for the most part, they do take some research to go through, but they're really easy to list and ship because they're already prepackaged. You know, some of them you're going to open up that gasket kit that I sold for $100 free shipping earlier in the video. That one I actually had to take out and make sure that all the seals, all the gaskets were there. And so I do want to make sure that I'm selling quality products. We had 31 orders today, and so I think I'm going to cut the video here. I have about 16 vinyl records to ship along with the products that you've seen. I think you guys have seen on my videos a lot of the records that we sell. I'll get those pulled and make sure to get them shipped out. But I sort of want to conclude this video here, but I think the main topics are, or the highlights of this video are really, as much as an estate sale, especially when the person is deceased, is a sad thing. And I agree. I 100% agree. But I also believe that they are a necessity in life and can help the family both financially and also to move on. And so I am lucky enough to be a part of that, and many times they'll share their stories of their loved ones, and I feel honored to hear those stories as well. And so I believe that we can make these estate sales a celebration of that person's life. And in the meantime, it does help me as a business, and I will make sure to do everything I can to be respectful in that manner. And I will try to find homes for these items that they will be loved again. I'm curious, have you ever gone to an estate sale and you've heard some great stories of their loved ones? And how do you show your respect at these estate sales? I would love to hear in the comments. In the meantime, please make sure that you use proper etiquette when going to these estate sales. Show respect and do business in an honorable way. I hope you have success in your selling. As you can see, we've had a very good day of orders that I have to ship out today. And if you watched my other video about how to get your sales going after vacation time, well, this is the results of that. This has been a matter of making sure I'm getting listings done, and we do different sales programs as well. So in the meantime, happy selling, and I'll see you in the next video.